So, Jeannie, this is my first non-isolated day since Thursday. I just got real sick to my stomach Thursday. I think it was just taking too many meds. They got me 3 times the meds I was taking.
June Shin's been having gastro problems too.
Yeah, so that's why I did want to quarantine because it could be infectious. It's not COVID. Taking the COVID test twice. Okay, good morning. Good morning. It's July 3rd, and we are at the garden classroom of the Pasadena Buddhist Temple. We are going to continue with our service here, and our progress here is going to be that I am going to go out and ring the Kansho bell. This is our Shotsuki Hoyo service for July, and we're going to start incorporating more people to help us. So I will ask Cathy Mikuni to read the Shotsuki Hoyo list pretty much as soon as I've rung the calling bell. I'll go ring the calling bell, say a few words, call Cathy up to read the Shotsuki Hoyo list, because these are the people to whom we are particularly dedicating this service, those who passed in the month of July. We're also celebrating the 4th of July weekend, and so there's positives, negatives, and in-betweens, and we're pleased to have you all here. We rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life. Namo Mita Butsu, Namo Dabutsu, Namo Mita Butsu, Namo Dabutsu. Here we go. Namo Mita Butsu, Namo Dabutsu. Well, again, just let me remind you, this is our Shotsuki Hoyo service for the month of July 2022, and we're also commemorating 4th of July weekend, but we're dedicating the service to those who passed in the month of July. Let me first thank those who are living, who were here yesterday to help out cleaning up the temple and the omigaki. I thank you very much. The SOGs, the Sons of Gardeners organization, the Buddhist Women's Association, the Bruins, and all of you were great help yesterday. Not me, because I was isolating. We've reached that point in history where every now and then you have a symptom and you isolate. So I'm back from isolation, double tested negative on COVID, and I'm pleased to be with you. But we do want to, first of all, besides thanking all of you for your hard work, we want to dedicate the service to those who passed in the month of July. I will ask Cathy Mikuni to read the names of those on our July Shotsuki Hoyo list. Oh, you got your own mic. Oh, great. Namo Mita Butsu, Namo Dabutsu, Namo Mita Butsu, Namo Dabutsu, Namo Mita Butsu, Namo Dabutsu, Namo Mita Butsu.
We'll read the names for all that we are dedicating the July Shotsuki Hoyo service. Arita Sachiko, Dehari Shigeko, Doi Takuuchi, Domen Kazuyuki, Fujikawa Kyo, Fujimoto Nobuo, Funada Eiji, Furumoto Doji, Goto Shigeo, Hamano Masashi, Hayashi Emiko, Hayashi Sasuke, Hirata Chinami, Inoue Theodore Ted Takao, Jofuku Yukitoshi, Kamon Matsujiro, Kawahara Toki, Kiho John, Kimura Kazue, Kodama Takao, Kosugi Nancy, Masai Dan, Masumoto Michi, Matsubara Daikichi, Morihiro Misako, Nagayama Hichiro, Naito Frank Keizuchi, Nato Imao, Nato Yukio, Nakamura Towa, Nakanishi Tadatsugi, Nakatani Sayo, Nishimoto Yukio, Nishimura Roy Kazuo, Noda Masako, Ogura Nancy, Ogura Ukichi, Omokawa Kannichi, Oshita Matsuyo, Otani Tasaburo, Otani Ukimi, Oyama Mitsue, Sano Sadao, Sato Kiyokichi, Sato Toshi, Sera Nobuo, Severance Eugenia Marie, Shiba Jinnosuke, Shigeishi James, Shimoda Mizu, Sugita Jiro, Sugasawara Tatsunosuke, Taguchi Gokichi, Tamura Kazumi, Tanaka A, Tokuda Okichi, Yamaguchi Yuri, Yamasaki Jokichi, Yamasaki Mitsuyo. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Butsu, Namo Butsu, Namo Butsu, Namo Butsu, Namo Butsu. Well, thank you, Cathy, for reading the names of those to whom we dedicate the service. And now I'll ask you to join me in the chanting of the Sanbutsuge, which is on page 33 in the Romanized version, page 33 in the OCBC service book. Busatsu Daimoryo Jukyo Sanbutsuge Hogen Gigi Ijin Mugoku Nyode Enmyo Muyo Tosya Nichigaten Mani Shuko Enyo Kaishtonpe Yunyaku Jumoku Nyolai Yogen Tyose Murin Shongaku Daion Koru Jippo Kaimon Shojin Tammai Chie Itoku Muryo Shusho Keiu Jintai Zen Shobuten Hokai Gujin Jin no Kungongai Tai Mumyo Yokunu Te Sonyomu Nino Shijin Toku Muryo Kukun Kodai Chie Jinmyo Komyo Iso Shindo Daisen Ganga Sabutsu Zai Shoho Kado Shoji Mihu Geidaten Fusei Joi Kainin Shojin Yose Samai Chie ijo gothe tokubutun fugyo shigan isai kuku ithadayon keshi ubutun yakutan nokuman muryo daisho shunyo goja kuyo isai shito shobutun funyo gudo kensho Hugyaku hinyo goja shobutun sekai bufu kage mushu setendo komyo shisho en shisho koku nyoze shojin ijin nanryo ryoga sabutun kokudo daichi goshu kimyo dojo chozetun kokunyo nayon Nimu toso gato aimin dodaten isai jipo raisho shinneten shoujo ito gakoku keiraku unknown kobuten shinmyo zega shinsho hotsugan no hi rikisho shoyoku jipo seison chie muge joryo shison Chiga shingyo keiryo shinshi shoku dokuchu gagyo shojin ijin juhuke namandabu 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 Kaniya shikudoku Byodo sei isai dohon modai shin ojo koku namanda buramanda namanda 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 buramanda namita butsu namanda butsu namo mirabutsu namanda butsu. I will ask you now to remain seated as you are able. We're going to make you start standing up when we go in the other building next month. But I will ask you to join me in a Gatha, in a Buddhist song, and in a devotional reading. And we'll start with Ondokusan, and that's back there, page 144, 145, 146, but I can't read music, so I'll just start whichever melody it is that I remember, and hope you can join me. But I'll go on a count of 3, 1 and a 2 and a Nyorai dai no ondoku wa miyoko ni shite mo hozu beshi shishu chishiki no ondoku mo o hone o kurakite mo shasu beshi. Hope you will remain with me now for the reading of the three treasures on page 10. How rare and wondrous it is to be born into human life, and now I live it. How rare and wondrous it is to be able to listen to the Buddha Dharma, and now I am able to hear it. If I do not transcend the world of delusion in this life, when will I ever attain spiritual liberation? May I, along with the entire Sangha, with sincere heart and mind, rely on that which can be truly relied on in life, the three treasures. I rely on the Buddha. May I, along with all sentient beings, awaken to the great path with my entire being and discover the highest aspiration, which is to become a Buddha. I rely on the Dharma. May I, along with all sentient beings, deeply reflect on the meaning of the sutras and gain wisdom that is as deep and broad as the ocean. I rely on the Sangha. May I, along with all sentient beings, become one Sangha of life, able to move forward and live with a dynamic spirit that is hindered by nothing. The unsurpassed, deep, and wondrous Dharma, even in millions of kalpas, is extremely difficult to encounter. But now I'm able to experience and embrace it. May I come to understand and revere the true meaning of the Tathagata. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. It is now my privilege to deliver a Dharma message. And again, thanks to all of you who helped clean up here yesterday and do the cleaning of the ornaments for the Naijin, the inner area. Thanks to the Sogs, the Bideway, the Bruins, and all the rest of you who were here. Thank you. As usual, we have attendees here, there, and everywhere. And for those joining us via the internet, Alan Goto is recording our service, and Cathy Kumagai is getting it onto the net for us. And while this is our Shotsuki Hoyo service for the month of July, and we do want to honor those who passed in July, it would be remiss of me not to address the topic of freedom here on the 4th of July weekend. It is less than a month since we had a service in which we honored our graduates. And here at the Pasadena Buddhist Temple, we had graduates, we had members who graduated high school and college with bachelor's degrees. At that time, I mentioned that becoming educated is an endless project. Becoming free is another endless project. Another activity that I have recently mentioned is endless and ongoing is exercise. You're not capable of completing your exercise program. It's never quite done. You never finish exercising, but you do reach meaningful plateaus. You never finish becoming educated, but being granted those degrees is meaningful. With becoming free, we reach plateaus, and sometimes we have setbacks. Most of us see the setting aside of Roe versus Wade as making many American women less free and less safe. Many of us see it that way. At the same time, the groundwork has been planted for decreasing limits on carrying concealed firearms. So some people think that will make us safer. It will technically make us more free. You have one more thing you can do that the government doesn't say you can't do. But true freedom does not necessarily come at the cost of safety. True freedom and safety do not necessarily conflict with one another. We must make our society safer. We must protect our children. And we must move our society in the direction of greater democracy. It is not clear that currently in the USA we are moving towards greater democratization. So there's lots to do. And much of what needs to be done will require political and social actions. The actual event that we commemorate on the 4th of July is the Congress's approval of the final draft of the Declaration of Independence. It wasn't signed on July 4th. It wasn't signed until August 2nd. I just learned that this year. I must have learned that in grammar school or high school, but I forgot. Yeah, the members of Congress agreed on the July 4th on the Declaration of Independence, so it wasn't actually signed until August 2nd. And then there was a Revolutionary War, you may remember. I was too young for that one. But the Revolutionary War went on for 8 years, so there was a lot left to do. We had announced that we're free, then signed the document, then 8 years of war, and then there was the drafting of the Bill of Rights and its adoption by the states in 1891. Democratizing our society has been a long and a gradual process, including setbacks. It has not been 246 years of steady progress. We have to change some things in our society. We have to democratize our country further, and we have to change ourselves. When I say we have to change ourselves, it's what you expect a Buddhist priest to say. When I say we have to change the Supreme Court, it doesn't sound like what you expect Buddhist priests to say, but it should be. It should be part of what we're saying. We have to change society and ourselves. We must change our society as well as changing ourselves. If every Buddhist in the United States were to suddenly turn 100% peaceful and cooperative all the time, how much better would that make life in North America, right? Wouldn't make much of a difference, to be honest. It's painful to say that, but if every one of us, if every Buddhist on this continent did their best to live kindly and generously, it'd still be a mess. There aren't enough of us. There's not enough of us to turn things around by ourselves by changing how we live. But that is part of what we have to do. We must change ourselves. For our own sakes and for the sake of those around us, we must change ourselves. We must become more appreciative of our lives. Buddhists, Christians, atheists, humanists, everybody these days lauds gratitude, talks about being grateful. And there are times when gratitude is not the appropriate response, nonetheless. The death of the teachers and the children at Uvalde, Texas, 40 days ago, there's no way to feel grateful about that. Makes me angry. Makes me angry at the police response, for one thing. If it makes you angry, do something. Change the laws, make counseling more available, help to establish more equitable wages in this country. But do something. 17 children and 2 adults were killed 40 days ago at the Robb Elementary School. An 18-year-old killed 19 people because he was angry and because he could. I need to remember people. I can't remember 19 people, so I have 1 or 2 people for all these tragedies, And so the Uvalde mass shooting, I remember Maite Juliana Rodriguez and her green shoes. That were the only way to identify her at that point. She wanted to study marine biology. So she became a symbol of that tragedy for many of us, identifiable again only by her green Converse shoes with a little heart sewn into them. Since that shooting 40 days ago, there have been at least 4 more mass shootings in the United States. Since then, 4 more that I know of. How many were there I haven't heard about yet? If it makes you angry, do something. But I can't keep track of all the sorrow. I can't follow all the stories. So we remember some of the stories and some of the names. So again, for me, Maite Juliana Rodriguez becomes the face of the victims of mass shootings. That's what I think of when I think of mass shootings and what it brings us. George Floyd is the face of police brutality for me. Elijah McClain is the face of police and emergency response technicians' incompetence. And the death of Tyree Smith and just down the street, Iran Moreno Balvaneda, they remind me of the random violence that destroys the lives of so many. Iran was just sitting at his computer right over there at Raymond and Mountain, shot to death. Nobody knows why. They still haven't found out. Somebody went down the street firing off. They're 100% certain nobody meant to kill him. He just happened to be there, that's all. What a shame, what a shame. Meaningful lives, valuable lives that have been lost. Again, if it makes you angry, that if you work to change things, that's good. But love and appreciation can motivate us to make change too. We don't have to walk around angry all the time. There's one post going around the internet that I have myself have reposted, and it goes basically, it's true that we can learn from life-changing tragedies, but it's also true that we can learn from experiencing love. That's the truth, it isn't just tragedy that helps us to grow. Kindness and goodness help us to grow too. Experiencing love with the people we care about helps us to grow too. Although we usually translate the Sanskrit term maitri and the Pali term metta as kindness or loving kindness, it really is love that the Buddha is encouraging us to feel. And love comes up naturally in our hearts and minds when we think of those we truly care for and those who have truly benefited us. Am I grateful to the founding fathers of the United States? Well, sometimes, if I think about it, sometimes. Do I love my family and my friends? Absolutely, yes. Remember who and what you care about. Stop to appreciate what others have done and are doing for you on occasion, and work to make men and women more free and more safe in our society. Congress approved the Declaration of Independence 246 years ago tomorrow. They signed it 231 years ago. Then the colonists fought a war of independence for 8 years. And then, when it was over, slavery was still legal and women couldn't vote. So we had more to do. Change is inevitable. The direction is not. Are we becoming less free in this country? Are you and I becoming less free in our daily lives? Remember who and what you truly care about and act accordingly. This is my advice. This is the Buddha's advice. This is the advice of all the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas. Remember the people and things that you love. And also stop to remember those innocent victims of violence. Maite, Juliana Rodriguez, Elijah McLean, Tyree Smith, Iran Moreno Balvaneda. No more of these sad, pointless tragedies. We must work to stop it. We must make it no more. We must make a difference. We must live with love and appreciation. And if we do live lives of love and appreciation, we can turn this around. We can change how we all live together. Like the song says, everybody wants to live together. Why can't we? Why can't we live together? Well, in closing, some of us can, most of us can. We will live together in friendship and love, in kindness and growth. We will move forward despite everything, despite the violence, despite the eroding of our rights, despite all the challenges that face us. We will move forward into the light together. Thank you for hearing me out on this. Thank you for joining the service, chanting the Buddha's words, for listening to the names of our dear friends who passed away, whose names we read. And I will close the Dharma message portion of the service with Kansho. Those who wish to join me in saying the Buddha's name, please do. We rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life. Namo Amida Butsu, 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 Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much. We are to the point of announcements. There must be some announcements. Next Sunday is our Obon service. We think we're going to be in the temple building. We have every reason to believe we will be. We hope to see you back there. It looks great. I just don't think the electricity is on yet, right? So we're very, very close, very close. And we hope to be there next week. The following week will be our Obon festival. And look to our website to find out all about that. Fill out your paperwork. Come on in if you can. And we'll have our Hatsubon service for the Hatsubon families on the 17th. But that'll be private for those who lost someone this year. And the service for everybody will be next Sunday at 10 a.m., hopefully over there. Worst case scenario right here. Anybody else have an announcement they need to make?
So Thursday will be our next Obon dance practice, and Friday all Obon food orders are due.
Okay, no Obon dance tomorrow?
No, tomorrow's a holiday. We're going to baseball game.
Okay. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we will hope to see some of you Thursday for the dance practice, and see you Sunday for the service. Thank you for coming. If there's no further announcements, I will close the service with Kansho, if I may. We rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Yeah, let me refresh the incense.